Good Thursday evening, Tallahassee. This is City Meteorologist Evan Regan. Let's get started on this Thursday evening. It is currently 91 degrees over Doak Campbell Stadium right now. We still have those partly cloudy skies, and behind me here you can actually see some cumulonimbus clouds in the distance here. We're tracking some thunderstorms around the Tallahassee area right now, but we do have that refreshing southeasterly breeze at 13 miles an hour. That is actually cooling off our southern suburbs. You can see here sitting in the low to mid 80s across their southern areas right now, still sitting in the low to mid 90s right now in our northern suburbs. Monticello at the hot spot right now, sitting at 95, so they're still sizzling out there. But tonight in Tallahassee, 68 degrees under partly cloudy skies with a nice breeze out there. So maybe a nice night to have a little bonfire out there and enjoy yourselves tonight. So temperatures in the 90s will persist in Tallahassee throughout the weekend. We do have a wet weekend in South Florida this weekend. We have newly issued tropical storm watches for South Florida. We'll cover that more on our tropics segment here on FSU Weather. And we're tracking severe thunderstorms across the mid-Atlantic today. All that and more on FSU Weather.
And welcome back to FSU Weather. I'm meteorologist Brandon Lashwick with you here tonight on this beautiful Thursday evening. Like Evan said, we do have some thunderstorms locally around the Tallahassee area. We have some storms to the east, southeast, and as well as the west, southwest. We're also tracking the tropics as well tonight. We have potential tropical storm 1 as it moves northeastward toward the southern Florida, so we're tracking those. And we also have a severe threat into the mid-Atlantic states, which could entail some damaging winds, some hail probabilities, as well as the front is expected to be moving south eastward as well. So we'll be looking at all those tonight. And we'll start off right now with that live look at Doak Campbell Stadium. We see these cumulonimbus clouds to the west as well. And currently right now at 91 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and that southeast wind at 13 miles an hour. And today our almanac is not working again. But I can tell you the high temperature today was 93. Our low was 67 as it was earlier in around 6 o'clock before sunrise. And so it's getting a little too close to that 104. I mean 93, but not too far away. Glad it wasn't 104 at least, though. Right now we're currently sitting at 89 degrees in Tallahassee, a little bit warmer, 92 in Quincy, 95 in Monticello, and a little bit cooler as you get to the coast and get into those marine effects, and 83 in Apalachicola. And our dew points are sitting above 60 for the area, even above 70 in some parts, so very muggy out. We do have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere right now, which is helping kick off some of those storms and otherwise dry conditions a little higher up in the atmosphere. And we see the storms right here on our radar. We see all these little outflow boundaries kind of kicking off, go heading north, heading a little bit east over here, coming off from these other storms. These little outflow boundaries are gusts of winds, basically, almost, and they're helping to initiate new storms as they collide with other boundaries and pop up some of those storms and bringing some lightning as well as some locally heavy rains. And into the overnight hours, we're seeing temperatures drop down into the high 60s and lower 70s. And for tomorrow, our high temperatures are going to be looking to be around the lower 90s, 93 Tallahassee, a little bit cooler again with those marine effects down by the coast, 86 in Apalachicola. And for the next 24 hours, we see the storms and will start to die off into the overnight hours. And as we head into tomorrow, the sea breeze will again kick off as we have that front. As you can see, it's starting to make its way southeastward, which will help pop up some more showers and thunderstorms into the area. For tomorrow in the beach, we're looking at 81 degrees and 83 for the water temperature. A nice light chop, so it looks like great conditions, but make sure you always know where your lifeguard is at when you go to the beach. And for tomorrow, we're seeing temperatures get up to the 90s around the 3 o'clock, and storms will increase as we head into the evening hours. And for our 7-day forecast, we see those storms increase on Friday, and a nice ridge of high pressure will come in over for next week, keeping our storm chances a little bit lower and hot conditions out. So now I'll pass it off over to Evan to give us a great look at our southeastern states.
That's right, we're taking a little bit of a more zoomed out view right now, but it looks like Mexico Beach right here experiencing similar weather to what we have here in Tallahassee. 85, so a little bit cooler, but nice and clear skies, really beautiful there. Atlanta's dealing with those 71. Charlotte's at 74. We do have a little bit of cloud cover. Same thing for Blacksburg, Virginia, with that cloud cover right now, sitting in the lower to middle to upper 70s right there. But currently around the southeast, pretty hot, especially in our more to the south you go. We have that deep red color. That's temperatures in the upper 80s and to low to mid 90s right now. So really hot outside right now. And we do have that thunderstorm threat throughout much of the southeast right now. We have Little Rock experiencing thunderstorms right now. Similar story in Charleston, South Carolina as well. And we do have that mugginess that we've been dealing with here. And Brandon said that we do have those dew points above 60 in almost every place in the southeast. So we are dealing with those muggy conditions. It's not as muggy as it could be this time of the year, but it's still quite uncomfortable out there. We still have those 70 dew points there in Tampa, behind me in Jackson, Mississippi right now. And that's in part because we do have these southerly wind flows coming off the Gulf of Mexico. And you can kind of see how these winds are kind of starting to collide here, kind of converge. That's where we're starting to get those daytime thunderstorms that usually pop up this time of the day, because we get those converging winds that forces the air upwards, and we get that convection this time of the day. So that's why we are dealing with some widespread thunderstorms throughout much of the southeast right now. You can see those popping up throughout much of the region right now. We're dealing with those showers and thunderstorms. But the big story right now is that we do have this newly issued tropical storm watch in that kind of salmon color right there. That goes until this Friday at 5 o'clock. But that does not mean that the threat is over then. That's when the conditions are supposed to start. So I'm expecting that we'll either get some sort of tropical weather statement over the next 24 hours, or maybe even a tropical storm warning. If this storm down to our south, you can just start to see it down there with those cloud cover, that's where we could get Alex, our first name storm. But we'll cover that more in the tropical segment later on in our show. But as for tonight, looks like widespread 60s and 70s throughout much of the area, with those scattered thunderstorms still being a risk throughout much of the night tonight. Charleston looks like a good day tomorrow, but storms fire up for the weekend, so maybe a little bit soggy there. And a similar story for Key West. Make sure you have those umbrellas in place, because you'll be dealing with that thunderstorm threat throughout the weekend from that tropical system as we look at tomorrow's high temperatures sitting in the 80s and 90s. But now I'm going to pass it over to Brandon, who's going to take a look nationally around the U.S.
Yes, that's right. We do have a lot of stuff going on nationally, of course. We do have that severe weather threat as ongoing into the mid-Atlantic states. But we see the current temperatures right now a lot warmer in the southeastern states, 89 in Atlanta. But the further north and west you go, we get a little more bearable temperatures in 75 Kansas City and 69 over up in Billings. And we see also the dew points. Most of that western United States is going to be drier than the eastern side, as this is where all the storms are located currently right now. And that dry air over to the west is also playing a part in the drought, which I'll show you in a little bit. And here's that upper level water vapor. We see all that water vapor into the southeastern states, into the mid-Atlantic. That is the front right now. All that front is bringing all that moisture, that severe threat, and that is pushing through east-southeast toward the southeastern states. And we see on the surface map right here, here's that front extraction all the way from the northeast all the way down into Texas even. And it's bringing all those showers and storms east as well. Zooming in over to the mid-Atlantic radar, we can see we do have some watches and warnings. On the yellow, we have that severe thunderstorm watch, and in the orange, we have those severe thunderstorm warnings. The major threat right now here is going to be damaging winds. We do have also a possibility of hail as well with these storms as they push offshore a little bit. So make sure you keep aware to your local news station if you can, as well as to your local weather office to keep up to date on those current threats and what you need to be sheltering from if need be. And as we head down toward the south, we do have, as I pointed out a little bit earlier, a tropical storm watch as well as a flood watch. I'll move over here so you can see that legend. And it's all associated with the storms that are associated with that tropical system that will be moving over to land on Friday and Saturday. And our active alerts right now, as we see again, here are those threats. I'll move on this side now so you can see the legend again. And we do have that tropical storm watch all over the southern Florida counties, on the coastal counties, excuse me. And here's that drought right now, as I pointed out with those dew points, dry dew points, drought conditions, almost direct correlation right there. Not much rain has been accumulated over here in the past weeks, so we do have some exceptional drought conditions. And on the East Coast, where all that rain in that front is located, not so much. We do have a little bit maybe severe on the coast, but all that rain from that front should be helping that as well. For the Spc Storm Outlook, we see a slight risk on the over Washington. That is a 2 out of 5 on the scale. So again, damaging winds and hail are your most likely threats for this evening. And as we head into Friday, that threat will shift over to the west into eastern New Mexico and the panhandle of Texas, to where we're also looking for, again, damaging wind and hail as your most likely threats. And into Saturday, that threat moves a little bit more eastward, and we also have just thunderstorms mostly covering the southeastern states and into Florida with that tropical system. For the overnight hours, temperatures will drop to about mild, 75 in New Orleans, and a little bit cooler and nice. It's 54 in Minneapolis and 51 in Billings, so definitely nice, cool conditions the more north you go in the country. And for tomorrow's highest temperatures, we see temperatures heating back up of 96 in San Antonio. So, and that is not even just including the heat index. I mean, so make sure you stay hydrated if you're in Texas, and a little bit cooler the more up you go, Pacific Northwest, 63 in Seattle. And for the flight right now, for our flights at Atlanta, Georgia, it's cloudy, minor delays, which we do have some storms in that area. And looking over to more airports, we see some delays in New York and Boston, where those severe thunderstorms are located. And I know you have some severe thunderstorms over where you live, Devin, in New York.
That's right. So yeah, from one segment to another, we're going to go from severe weather to another type of severe weather in a way. Tracking the tropics on this second day of hurricane season, we could already have our first named storm, which is going to be Alex, sometime this weekend, and that's headed towards South Florida. Really just being a bit of a rainmaker, so kind of a nuisance down there, but there could be some tropical storm force winds, and that's why we have that tropical storm watch that was issued just a little while ago. But the reason why this storm is expected to develop is because we do have above average sea surface temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico right now. Right now, the center of the storm is sitting right about here, just off the coast of Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula, and that's going to slide just to the western tip of Cuba and then head towards South Florida by the time we get to the weekend. But because tropical systems feed off that nice warm ocean water, that's why this is likely to develop. And you can see it actually looks pretty healthy on this water vapor imagery right now. Those deep purple colors right there, that's those really high cloud tops, those really cold thunderstorm clouds. And the higher they are, the more rain and really the stronger that it'll be. So it looks quite healthy on this imagery right now, and it's going to just slide more towards the northeast as we go forward in time here and bring all that rain to South Florida. So we do have those tropical storm watches in effect for South Florida right now, and they're not showing up for some reason, but we do have those watches right now going until tomorrow, but the conditions will persist throughout the weekend as the system moves towards the northeast, towards South Florida. And this is just the beginning of what seems to be an active hurricane season. You can see our 30-year average is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes, and all 3 of these institutions, Colorado State, the Weather Channel, and AccuWeather, are all forecasting an above average season for all 3 of those categories. So planning ahead, you want to make sure you have those bottled waters, non-perishable food items, and you want to make sure you fill those prescriptions. Keep those flashlights in hand. No candles, though, because those could start fires. But as we go forward to one last look at Doak Campbell Stadium, currently 88 degrees, so a little bit cooler than the last time we checked. Still partly cloudy skies with those thunderstorms around, and that southeasterly breeze at 15 miles per hour right now. Around the area, much of the same, 90s widespread in our northern suburbs, 80s down by the coast because we do have those southerly breezes coming off the Gulf of Mexico, cooling us off slightly there. And then the dew points are still elevated for this time of the year. We have 70s in Monticello and St. Mark's, so uncomfortable air masses in place for the summer, as you would expect to see in Florida this time of the year. But we do have those thunderstorms around, so make sure you keep those umbrellas and rain jackets in hand for tonight. They'll clear out somewhat by the time we get to overnight tonight, but those storms will refire again tomorrow with more widespread than they are today. So keep those umbrellas in hand for tomorrow. And as we go forward in time here, looks like a nice weekend in the 90s for the weekend, but that thunderstorm threat returns for Monday. But if you like us, you guys can always follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSUweather, and you can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSUweather. If you're not already, you can also watch us live on YouTube Monday through Thursday for the summer, or any of our archives at youtube.com/FSUweather. And you can also follow us on Instagram at FSUweather to send us any weather-related photos you have. But now, one last look at Doak Campbell Stadium. I'm senior meteorologist Evan O'Regan. Have a great evening.